वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की, गौड़ीय वेदांताचार्य ललित बलदेव भूषण प्रभु की, श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की, श्री नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर की, श्री रूप सनातन भक्त रघुनाथ, श्री जीव गोपाल भक्त दास रघुनाथ, सद गोस्वामी प्रभु की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की, श्री वृंद देवी गंगा देवी जमुना देवी भक्ति देवी की, श्री वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की, श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री द्वारकापुरी धाम की, श्री अयोध्यापुरी धाम की, श्री श्री गौरनिताई मंदिर की, इस्कॉन सेलम भक्त वृंद की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। हरे कृष्ण। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामने, नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश धारणे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्, नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भागवतीत्युत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Something is missing. Something is missing. Srimad Bhagavatam is missing. Adhyanena Mahavyalo Yashodananda Sununa Hato Vita Vayam Chasmad Iti Balavraje Jaguhu Adhyanena Mahavyalo Yashoda Nanda Sununa Hato Vita Vayam Chasmad Iti Balavraje Jaguhu. Adhyanena Mahavyalo Yashodananda Sununa Anyone else? Ladies read also or no? Samaptam. Padapataha. Padapataha. Pada words, pata reading. Adya, today. Anena, by him. Mahavyalaha, a great serpent. Yashoda, of Yashoda. Nanda, and Maharaj Nanda. Sununa, by the son. Hataha, has been killed. Avitaha, have been saved. Vayam, we. Kshamakare, excuse me. And asmat, from that demon. Iti, thus. Balaha, the boys. Vraje, in Vrindavan. Jaguhu, sang. Translation and purport. As the cowherd boys reached the village of Vraja, they sang, "Today Krishna saved us by killing a great serpent." Some of the boys described Krishna as the son of Yashoda, and others as the son of Nanda Maharaj. Purport. Actually, Lord Krishna had killed the demon Aghasura 1 year earlier. But the boys, bewildered by the mystic potency of Brahma for 1 year, did not notice the time passing and thus thought that on that very day Lord Krishna had killed the demon Aghasura and was now returning home with them. Yashoda. Who knows what that means? The mother of Krishna. No, what does it mean? Who said that? Correct. What is it called in Sanskrit grammar? You know? You know what it's called? No, nobody. In Gurukul, you're not. Vyakarana shikshanam prachalati kim? No. Upapad tatparu samas. Something nearby. Yashoda, Narmada. Padapa. What does it mean? Padapa. Have you heard that before? Padapa. No? Huh? Yeah, you know. Drinking from the feet. Who drinks from the feet? Trees. Padapa, Yashoda, Kamsaha, one who killed Kamsa. There are other such samas. You can learn samas in English. What is it? Compound. Yeah, good answer. 2 words make 1 word. That's a compound. Yashoda, one who gives fame. Yashaha. Kirtihi, that's a synonym of Yashaha. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te vyayam. What's the rest? Sabhavitasya cha kirtir maranad atirichyate. Kirti Yashaha. So there's not a lot to explain here philosophically. Krishna killed the demon, and at that time Brahma took the cowherd boys. And within a moment he brought them back. But the moment was Brahma's moment. So Brahma's 1 moment was 1 year in this world. So 100 years is Brahma's few minutes, 1.5 minutes. What is that? 90 seconds is 100 years. But the day of Brahma is in Gita, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. 1,000 yugas is a day of Brahma. So what is 100 years? Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. Ratri Yuga Sahasrantam. Tepi Ratri. I'm missing 1 word there. Tejo? No, not Tejo. Something. Day and night of Brahma are each 1,000 yugas. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. After 1,000 yugas. Sahasra is 1,000. Samskrita Bhasha, it's a language. Communication, now we're communicating in English. This English is not the language of this place. Bengali is not the language of this place. Yeah, got a few people from this place, but the vast majority of people here, they don't know English, they don't know Bengali. We have to consider that. Consider that. But you're doing it, thousands of books are going out in local language, mostly. Mostly. So these books are glorifying Krishna. These pastimes. So one devotee asked me the other day, God brother, Lord Ramachandra, he ate meat. How is that possible? He says, Krishna says in Gita, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, Yo me bhaktya prayachati. And Prabhupada used that to say that Krishna doesn't accept non-veg food, so how can he eat non-veg food? So the answer which applies to this verse, you may say, oh, what's he talking about? It has nothing to do with this verse. But the Leela, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, they're described in another place here in the 10th canto. Leela kapata manushaha. Kapata means pretending, cheating. Leela kapata, pretending because it's his pleasure. Leela kapata manushaha. He's playing the part of an ordinary man, but he's not an ordinary man. Same with Lord Rama, playing the part of an ordinary man, but he wasn't an ordinary man. The pastimes of Rama, pastimes of Krishna are adbhutam, wonderful. An ordinary man has this type of pastimes. Similar, but not as fantastic. I guess that's the word we should use. Ordinary man is killing animals. Actually, in the 10th canto, Krishna and Arjuna went in the Khandava Prastha and killed the animals. This is written there. You can't deny it. Prabhupada said Bhima ate meat, but we don't eat meat. But a Kshatriya was allowed to kill an animal in the forest, not go to a supermarket and purchase meat from a slaughterhouse. Whether it's a supermarket or whether it's, this morning we took a walk and we saw some banners with, a dead chicken and I can't read the Tamil, but a new restaurant. And there was a enclosure with a lot of chickens. And inside there was a havan going on and Veda mantras were being chanted there. So, how is it possible? So, Prabhupada said that Shudras are allowed to eat meat, but slaughterhouse was never allowed. They had to kill the animals. And that's papachar, sinful. You have to suffer for that. It's allowed. The king wouldn't stop it. Now there's no king, so everything goes on. Slaughterhouse, meat market, alcohol, everywhere. Who will stop it? No king. That was not the culture of this country. You can even advertise with the name of Lakshmi, Narayan, Vishnu, all of these tamasic activities. Who will stop you? Those who oppose Vedic culture are generally in the mode of ignorance, generally tamasika. We want to elevate everybody to the mode of goodness, sattvika. So by giving up the tamasic ahar and intoxication, you can situate yourself in the mode of goodness. One situated in Mam cha yo avyabhicharini bhakti yogena sevate. One has to elevate himself to that bhakti where there is no lower modes. The tamogun and rajogun are finished. Even sattvagun has to be transcended. Even sattvagun has to be transcended. So mam chayo avyabhicharini. Vyabhichar means a bad activity. Acharan, activities. Achar. Sad achar, good activities. Durachar, bad activity. Vyabhichar, bad activity. So, people are performing pujas and then killing chickens, killing goats. At least they don't kill cows. At least they don't kill cows. But then there are those who are killing cows. It's a huge business. They call it a business. They don't think there's any reaction for that. But even killing a chicken has a reaction, so what to speak of killing a cow? But the reaction is different. Reaction is different. Rajas killed animals in the forest, but at the end of their Grihastha ashram, then they had to perform prayashchittam. You know this word? Prayashchittam. Atonement. Because they did something papachar. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyaha papam evashrayed asman hatyaitan atatainaha. The word papa appears in Gita in several places. These are two examples. Papa, sinful activity. Papachar, bad actions, bad behavior. If someone is badly behaved, he's punished. Dandaniya. You heard that? Dandaniya. Danda is a stick. Dandavat, like a stick. Dandaniya, the stick should be applied. That would be the English. Stick should be applied. So if there's bad behavior, the government punishes that. If someone is a thief, he's punished by the government. Nowadays, the punishment put them in the confinement jail. Previously, still in some places, they literally beat the people. I think Singapore is the only place left, right? They give them, it's part of the sentence, to be beaten with a bamboo, with a stick. That pain doesn't go away easily. The pain of being beaten by a stick doesn't go away. The police in India, they carry sticks. They don't carry guns. Now it's become more common because everything is Western imitation nowadays. So they carry a gun. How is this connected with Krishna and the cowherd boys? You can only imagine that to get to that place, Krishna's eternal pastimes, avyabhicharini bhakti yoga, so that service should be totally uncontaminated. There are other shlokas that describe this also. Not coming to mind at the moment. Pardon? Yeah, that's there. That's Krishna Anushīlam. Pure bhakti, we say. We say that because, what is the word that there is Sakam Bhakti and Nishkam Bhakti. People worship devatas and eat tamasic ahar. So they, being in the tamogun, their mentality is materialistic. Their mentality is materialistic. So that materialistic mentality doesn't exist in the cowherd boys, doesn't exist in the gopis, the gopas. They already gave up the materialistic endeavors, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a lofty ideal, a lofty ideal. The aim is to Mam chayo avyabhicharini bhakti yogena. Different types of yoga are there. Mostly people don't practice yoga at all, right? You can, if you want to say karma yoga, that they do some materialistic endeavor and give something to Balaji or whatever deity, do some seva. You can call it karma yoga. But avyabhicharini, it's a very lofty ideal, how to give up all form of material desire. There's gross desire and subtle desire, right? Comfortable life, don't have to do anything. That's one desire. I remember one time in our office in the temple, somebody came from here, South India. He was selling carpets. You didn't put the carpet, you don't put, never. Chatai. No. You sit on the cold, Hare Krishna. He was 85 years old. That's how I remember. 85-year-old salesman. Oh. Some people don't retire. Some people don't retire. But why do they do that? To fulfill some material desire. Now, Prabhupada wrote, not in one place, but must be 20 or 50 or 100, I can't say. Everyone should become a vanaprastha and go to the forest. The same time, I was just reading this in the night. I think it's in the 3rd canto somewhere. I can't remember where. But those who are accustomed to big city life, they can't do that. We don't see people going to the forest like in the past. We read how Vanaprastha ashram meant tirthyatra, walking from place to place. And there are so many holy places. So many holy. Bharata means Bharata Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, right? There are so many tapasvis, so many rishis, yagnas were performed. It wasn't a wonder to see somebody performing a yagna, but for what purpose? It was surprising. To open a new slaughterhouse for chickens, surprising. Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, when Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Sugriva, Vibhishana, monkeys were in the Pushpaka Vimanam, and they're coming from Lanka to Ayodhya. And Rama is describing to Sita all of the different places where his pastimes, after she was taken away, he's describing. Then they land they don't go to Ayodhya, right? They go to the ashram of Bharadwaj. So many, in Valmiki Ramayana, they visited Atri. Atri's ashram, there Anasuya instructed Sita in street dharma. It's not very long. Interesting upadesh. Interesting upadesh that in India people know, because that culture was there for thousands of years. But in the West, it's very difficult to transplant that culture because of modern concepts of gender equality. Gender equality. Gender distinction is from the beginning of time. Beginning of time. At least if you accept Vedic literature as a true history, there's gender distinction. Even if some Devi, Durga Devi, had tremendous powers, but she's called Durga Devi, Saraswati Devi, Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. We're reciting that. I don't know if you recite this every day. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu. Right? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. What's the other one? I forgot the other one. Narayana Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. So why is Saraswati a Devi and not a Deva? What is this gender equality idea? Where did it come from? It's also tamasic. It's not sattvic. Like non-vegetarian food, like alcohol, it's a contaminating concept that there are not two genders. It's all equal. Prabhupada opposed it again and again and again. And there are some who ignore it, ignore that opposition, ignore the truth. Unfortunate. That's what can you say? It's unfortunate. Gopis were the topmost devotees. Gopis are the topmost devotees. They only thought of Krishna. They had no other thoughts. It's very difficult to be like that. You don't have any other thought, only Krishna. This japa is sambodhanam, right? In Sanskrit grammar. Sambodhan. You are crying out, Hare Krishna. So you're practicing, but many other thoughts come in the mind. That doesn't mean that there aren't some of our devotees who really do only think of Krishna. They're great Mahatmas. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajantyananya manasaha. They're always worshipping Krishna by thinking of him. So, yeah, that's the goal. Cowherd boys were also only thinking of Krishna. They're chanting the glories of Krishna, that he killed a great serpent. They had suffered a different illusion, Brahma's illusion, but that didn't take away their Krishna consciousness. That didn't take away their Krishna consciousness. It appears to us that Brahma influenced the cowherd boys, but the fact is it was the will of Krishna that Brahma did that, isn't it? Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So it's the will of Krishna. Kali Yuga is the will of Krishna. And Sankirtan Andolan, the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is also the will of Krishna. We're trying to spread the movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Harinam, Brihat Mridanga book distribution. It's a great challenge, not easy. There are still one-to-one book distributors who have been doing it for ever and a day. Few, not many are left. Not many are left because the body gets old. Of course, it's just like that 85-year-old carpet salesman. Can do it. Can be done. Can be inspired to go on till the end. Right? There's one Prabhupada disciple, Mataji. She was 70 plus, distributing the books in New Orleans. I don't know if she's still there. She may be in Mayapur now. So like that, the world is full of ignorant people. They're born a human being, but they have no idea what is the aim of life. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnum. They don't know the real aim. Aim of life is Vishnu. Aim of life is Vishnu. So they're materialistic. They want, what is it? What are the material things? Labh, puja, pratishta. They want profit. Everybody wants profit. Otherwise you can't survive. There may be some difficulty in living without some sort of wealth. And we see simple people here, they survive on agriculture. But it's tough. It's tough to live off of agriculture. Self-sufficient life, not easy, huh? Not easy. Labh, some material gain, and to be worshipped in society. There are small worshipable people and big worshipable people. And now, like the politicians, they're worshipped for a few years and then forgotten. When they lose power, they're gone. Nobody cares. So even if you were a great king in the Vedic system, what happened to all those kings? They were ruling this place. They also built tremendous temples. What was their succession plan? Vedic culture. The culture, Prabhupada, I keep repeating this. In Hyderabad, Prabhupada was lecturing to 10,000. Thousands, let's say. And we used to say 10,000. I can't give you an exact number. It's almost 50 years ago. It'll be 50 years in 2 months. March 1975. So it's almost 50 years. Please don't give up your culture, he begged the public. Please don't give up your culture. So that culture, Vedic culture, we were with Prabhupada on the train. I wasn't in the train. I went one day earlier. But when the train came, I was there in Nellore. That'll be 49 years ago, January 3rd. A couple days, 1976. And seeing the reception, 2,000 people had gathered there at the train station. The mayor, Nadaswarams, girls with the, coconuts, Brahmins chanting Veda mantras to welcome Prabhupada. So Prabhupada turned to that small group of disciples. There were some Indian devotees by that time, but Western disciples. So he said, Vedic culture is more intact in South India. Doesn't mean that the rest of India doesn't have Vedic culture. But certain traditions were preserved more. Krishna didn't live in South India. I don't think he came here. Not in the Krishna Leela. Came to Gujarat. Went to Dwarka. Actually, where we are, that Surat, Ahmedabad and Baroda, it was a forest. Nobody lived there. Saurashtra is where everybody was living. Saurashtra. People from Saurashtra came here to Tamil Nadu, right? In every city there's a caste of Saurashtra people. Similarly, there were castes that came fleeing the Muslim invasion from Afghanistan. They came to Sindh, they came to Gujarat, they came to Karnataka, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Last 1,000 years of Indian history is very checkered history. Time changed. Swarajyam, self-rule, came to India in 1947, 48, 47. But as was noted by some of our God brothers, that you got Swarajya, but you didn't get Swadharma. Because the system of governance that came into being in 1947 is not Vedic. It's not the traditional system of governance of this country. We are not revolutionaries. We are not. Our aim is to spread Krishna Bhakti, and fighting is certainly one part of that, because whole Bhagavad Gita is fight, 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 again and again and again. If you research Gita and find all the verses where Krishna tells Arjuna to fight. That's why Prabhupada was, let's say he criticized the idea of nonviolence in government, because without a strong hand, Prabhupada wrote like that, commenting on Prithu Maharaj. The king should be like a lion. Sing. Prabhupada wrote in the purport, 4:16:23. Anybody taking notes? Not in this class. Okay, no problem. It's being taped. You can watch the tape later. It is appropriate that a king be described as a lion. Prithu was described as a lion. So Prabhupada wrote that even today in India, Kshatriyas are called Singh, lion. But not in South India, huh? No Singh. Gujarat, they say Sinha. So they write S-I-N-H. But Singh, Narasimha, a lot of people are named Narasimhan here, right, in Tamil Nadu. But Kshatriya is called Singh. So in the comment, Prabhupada wrote that if a woman is the head of state, it is unfortunate and regrettable. He wrote these two words. Because at that time, Indira Gandhi was the prime minister. So that's in his purport. Can't take it out. Well, you can try. They're trying. Revisionists, they want to revise what Prabhupada taught so that a certain morality is satisfied. Appeasement. Appeasement policy is there in politics, right? Sama dama danda bhed, sama, appeasement. Try and appease the enemy. But Prabhupada didn't change his philosophical outlook and indulge in appeasement. Just like Krishna is God, But Prabhupada didn't change that. That International Society for God Consciousness, he rejected. Krishna consciousness. Krishna has thousands of names. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam, thousands of forms. So that, you can't change that. Can't change the system of governance given in Vedic literature, particularly Dharma Shastras. Dharma Shastras gives the ideal system of governance. What's the time? How am I doing on time here? Over? Questions? Question time? If there are any questions, I don't know. Sorry, my voice is not good. No questions? Yes, Prabhu. How does culture get preserved? Good question. In fact, this is mentioned in Gita by Arjuna. Arjuna is arguing with Krishna, arguing in the sense, not like, this is my apple, this is not like that, but presented philosophical reasons why he shouldn't kill his grandfather, his guru. Guru! Guru, 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 guru. There was a tape in Amritsar. Guru, 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 guru. We're also guru bodies. And Arjuna was going to face his guru in the battle. How is that possible? How can you fight against your guru? Right? So Arjuna made arguments. Kula dharmascha shashvataha. The religious principles followed in our family are eternal. Kula dharma sanatanaha. Same sanatan, eternal. So there's something here that family tradition of those who followed Vedic culture was how it was preserved. So particularly for Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, that meant memorizing Vedas, Vedadhyayanam. When we say Vedadhyayanam, that's what Krishna and Balaram exhibited when they went to the Gurukula, the house of the Guru Sandipani. They studied Vedas. So this was it's still extant. We are not, by and large, we haven't taken that up yet. Hopefully we will someday. But you see Brahmins in South India, there are still more Brahmins who study Vedas. It's going away. So there's no king to protect them and to encourage them. They have to do it on their own. So the acharyas, the gurus, support the gurukulas. The gurukula really meant the home of a Brahmin. The students might not have been Brahmins. The Pandavas were not Brahmins. Kshatriyas. And that's mentioned when Krishna and Balaraman here in the 10th canto, 45th chapter, what they studied. Those studies kept the traditions intact. Because in the childhood you would learn the mantras, and then later on you would learn the meaning. Why? Because children have the ability to learn. Childhood is a time for learning. Even Western culture accepts that. Western system of education is aimed at children. Starts at 5. But what the culture we are interested in what's the word? Emulating or adopting, spreading, protecting, all these different concepts is Vedic culture. Now, Vedic culture meant study of Vedic literature. Memorize it. That was the system. You would have Ishavasyamidam Sarvam, Ishavasyamidam Sarvam, Ishavas. So it would be, mantras would be in your mind. It's like data entry today. You put the data into the machine and it's all there. Searchable database. So the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas were trained to be searchable databases. How? The mantra for, any activity was already stored in the mind. Even today, 50 years ago, maybe not now, I don't know. There are people who used to be able to do 100 things at once. Maybe you heard of that? No. Shatta Avadani. You heard of that, right? Avadana means to store the knowledge in your mind, whatever that knowledge is. So for our what Bhagavatam teaches is that it should be Vedic knowledge, right? So how do you store Vedic knowledge? You memorize it. That's it. If we're not doing that, we're substandard. That's all. And if you had a bad childhood, like us Westerners, it's that much more difficult. So the children were supposed to be educated like that. And now the Brahmins are educating their children Western education. They lost that. What is that? Oh my God, I don't have the Gita here. Dharme nashte, what? Jayate vanasankarne, but before that, what is it? Kulam kritsnam. When dharma is destroyed, the family is destroyed. This was Arjuna telling Krishna. Well, it's true. Krishna didn't repudiate that. What he repudiated was that this should not be an excuse to actually kill your guru or your grandfather because they were on the wrong path. And as Gita goes on, he says that in so many different words. Fight, conquer your enemies. Jitva shatrun. If your grandfather is your enemy, you have to kill him. Ultimately, Bhishma said, it was Arjuna's arrows. Right? It wasn't Shikandi's arrows, it was Arjuna's arrows. He was happy to be killed by his grandson because it was the arrangement of Krishna and he was a great devotee of Krishna, Bhishma. But generally, to preserve the family tradition or to make, in our case, a family tradition of study of Vedas and Vedic literature, that's how the culture will be preserved. So wearing Vedic dress and tilak, eating prasad and not chicken from the, non-veg hotel, etc., etc. Don't take intoxicants. That's a big challenge for Westerners. Because, our families, that was the Western religions. Prabhupada said the religions of the meat eaters, they also consume alcohol as a part of the religious tradition. Gita says, Bhuta preta ganangs chanye yajante tamasa janaha. Those who are in the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. Catholicism has the Holy Spirit. And then they have, rituals where you drink alcohol. So what kind of religion is that? Islam, there's no alcohol. We enjoyed our flight in Saudi Arabian Airlines, they don't serve alcohol. It's against the religion. But killing cows is okay. What kind of religion is that? So our aim is to change them. Like Arabic book distribution. You heard about that, right? Only 2 devotees. One is 77 years old. Was born in India to Christian missionary parents. And they're going in masjids in the US and Canada and selling Arabic books. They get thrown out every time, but not after they distributed lots of the books. Pretty bold. Special mission, right? Everyone cannot do that. Everyone cannot. So yeah, preserve the culture. Prabhupada pleaded with the people, please don't give up your culture. So we're his followers. And so he told us in Nellore, Vedic culture is more intact in South India. So he was propagating Vedic culture. And those who are supposedly his followers and say, we're not Vedic, as one particular godbrother of mine said clearly in Mayapur in a lecture, we're not Vedic. Well, he's a murkha, that's all I can say. He's a fool. He's a fool. He didn't imbibe what Prabhupada taught. That's all. Sad story. But Kali Yuga is a challenging time when Maya is very powerful. And who are we? Few people gathered here, and what's out there is a big difference. Big difference. The glorification of tamoguni, we say the activities in the mode of ignorance, is tremendous. Tremendous. How do you withstand that? Great determination. You have to have great determination. It's possible. It's possible. And Prabhupada was hopeful. Yeah, it's spreading all over the world. But didn't spread mass. We have to admit it's spread, which it wasn't earlier, probably. So spreading, and in many places, and there are many people, like in Ukraine, they used to have 10,000 devotees come. There are 19,000 initiated devotees. And by the will of Maya, it's all in jeopardy there due to this fighting. I went to the Red Sea Russian festival in 2012, and 4,000 devotees came there. So ISKCON spread Vedic culture to some extent. We have more work to do, particularly in Vedic education. Modern education in India has taken over the country. I saw a video. You know the name of the railway minister of India? What's his name? Nobody knows? Railway minister. Huh? Should I tell you? Ashwini Vaishnav. Ashwini Vaishnav. His name is Vaishnav. So he's wearing a suit and tie. He's in the present Hindu government. And he's addressing a whole group of Indians with suits and ties and telling how many colleges and universities we built. And, you know, this is a source of pride for the Hindus, giving up their culture by embracing Western education and what else? Western lifestyle. Making cities that are just like Metro, Bangalore Metro, Chennai Metro, Hyderabad Metro. Delhi is the best one. I never went. And Just imitating the West. A to Z, A to Z in England. If you move around India, they'll Indian English, A to Z. You heard it, right? Because in England they say Z, and we Americans say Z. We don't say Z. Pasha. We changed our religion. Well, some of us. We changed our dress. We changed our name. We changed our food. But we didn't change our language. Sanskritam. Jayo, Jayo, Jayaha. Jai, Jai, Jai. And the O is the Sandhi. Jai, Jai, Jai. Samskrita Bhasha. Shikshaniyam. You have to learn. How should you learn? By speaking. Not by grammar is good, but that's not how language is taught. Anyway, that's also culture. It has to do with the question, Samskritihi, Samskritam. What's the difference? Samskritihi, culture. Samskritam, a language, bhasha. Cultured language. Samskrita bhasha, cultured language. Time is up. 1 hour is over. I don't have much of a voice left. I don't know what happened. It's 2 weeks. Not coming back. Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. It might be if I give a lecture tomorrow, you hear the same thing.